How you doing, everyone? Welcome back to another edition of FSI's PGA DFS Pick Show. I'm your host, TK Nation 47, bringing to you the weekend plays edition for the PGA Championship. First two rounds pretty solid so far. Louie Oosthuizen and Phil Mickelson up at the top with 5 under. Louie one bogey away from a bogey-free round in round 2. Playing really well. If you got a chance to listen to the pick show on Monday night, then you would have saw that Louie Oosthuizen high on my board and high in the betting card for me. So I hope he can pull it out. It'd be nice to hit 2 winners in a row. But Brooks Kepca is lurking, and he looks really good. 2 eagles on the day for him. So going to be really tough for Louie to pull it out with a lot of these studs here at the top of the list. So let's see what the statistics are going to tell us, and let's go into depth about each tier for this upcoming weekend and DraftKings Showdown Round 3 slate. Okay, so far up top we have Jordan Spieth at 10-3. This is going to be the weekend contest salaries, so only player above 10K is Jordan Spieth at 10-3. 3.7 on the approach and 6.6 tee to green. He's playing really well. I think Jordan Spieth is a pretty good play. The putter is not working for Jordan. He's getting him to around 10 to 15 feet. He's just not making any of those putts. Minus 4.4 on the putting green. If you think Jordan can get his putter back, then he's going to rocket up that leaderboard. I think he's a decent GPP play. Jon Rahm's made the cut. He is not playing so well when it comes to the statistics, but he is putting pretty well. I think that's what's keeping him alive. Certainly a player that can always reverse course on any of his statistical lines. So I think Jon Rahm, always a good GPP play. Next up, we have Bryson Deshamble, 4.7 on the approach, 8.9 tee to green. That is up in the top 5. Bryson's going to be a good play. Once he figures out how to putt, he is going to do really well. He's overpowering the course. He's using that length and that distance control out of the rough really well. This seems to have been a good course fit for Bryson. He's gotten through some mental roadblocks that he usually has in major championships, so I like Bryson DeChambeau going into tomorrow as a decent cash option, head-to-head, however you want to use it. Rory McIlroy did make the cut, 1.6 on the approach, 4.3 tee to green. Not really playing the best. But certainly a guy that can score birdies in bunches, coming off a win at the Wells Fargo. I don't mind him for GPPs as well. Zalatoris, not playing well around the greens. That's come to no surprise given the last couple of weeks and how we've seen his statistics shake out. But this is one of the premier ball strikers. You can get hot at any time. 4.6 in the approach, 7.2 ball striking. I don't mind him. Corey Connors took a step backwards today. He's been bailing himself out with the putter. I don't think that continues. He might continue to digress throughout the weekend. He is going to actually be a fade for me on the weekend slates, and I might throw one lineup for Showdown. Haven't decided. Probably leaning towards the fade side. I think Zalatoris and Bryson are probably better plays. And this next guy in the 8K range, that's 8,900, Brooks Kepca. Like I said at the top, he is crushing it. 2 eagles today, 7.2 on the approach, 9 strokes tee to green. That is tied for first in the field. Certainly a gentleman you're going to want in your weekend Showdown lineups. He's probably on the verge of winning. So 10.3 total. There's no reason not to play Brooks Kepca tomorrow. Price tag, cash viable. Next up is Cam Smith. He's kind of playing really balanced across the board. 5.3 total. I don't mind it. GPP only. Joaquin Niemann's playing pretty well. 3.3 on the approach. 4.2 putting. We don't know if that's going to continue, but he's certainly played this course pretty well. I like his ball striking so far. Webb Simpson and Daniel Berger limped into the cut, and I think they're going to be a fade for me. Although Berger was hitting his irons really well today, I just don't know what kind of consistency he's going to have going in and out of these rounds. Hideki Matsuyama, the recent Masters champ, first round back last week, was at the Byron Nelson. So he certainly played really well. He has some really good strokes gained statistics here, 9 strokes tee to green. That would be my second cash play. I think Bryson and Hideki are both, and Brooks, all 3 are probably the cash options from the 8K, 9K range so far. With Spieth rounding out that GPP. So those three I think are going to be solid ownership-wise. I think Brooks and Hideki are must-plays. I think they both perform pretty well heading into round 3 and 4. Cantlay is a decent option here. 6.5 on the approach, 9.1 ball striking. That leads the field. I think Cantlay, like I said yesterday, he was a good GPP play. And if you played him over Connors in that price range yesterday, then you made some money. So give me some more Cantlay in GPPs. I think he's got some upside heading into the weekend. I really like that for the weekend play. Give him 2 rounds with that ball striking. Let the putter start to get warm. I think Cantlay is going to keep going up the leaderboard. Finau played really well around the greens. That really kept him involved in the tournament so far today. I think that's a solid GPP play. Paul Casey would be another cash option. 5.1 on the approach, 6.1 tee to green. He's actually putting pretty well on these greens. As we see with the South Africans that we have at the top and a lot of the Euro correlation, guys that have seen this kind of Paspalum greens in like the Pacific and on the Euro Tour in South Africa, they are really on the leg up here when it comes to some of these green complexes and the way the course is playing with that wind. So Euro guys, I would lean because of how much experience they may have on something like this course. Casey, certainly a play that is just too cheap. So Brooks, Hideki, Casey, all very, very, very solid plays. Got to keep going down here. I'm not really noticing anything that stands out except for my guy Louie. I think 3.8 on the approach is not better than some of the other numbers that we've seen, but he's 7.4 tee to green, 3.9 putting. I know that's something I kind of I don't like to see, is a guy that's kind of winning with this putter, but he's just doing it in all facets. He's a really good course fit. I certainly think he's going to continue to do well. 11.3 total. That is tied with Phil for first in strokes gained total. I think I would understand that fade in GPPs. Louie, a notorious second place finisher. But I think in cash games, it might be a good way to throw up the block or go 2v2. But other than him in this price range, I would only consider Gary Woodland. 4 strokes on the approach, 8 strokes total, tee to green. He's not really doing well with the putter, but that's pretty typical. So the difference between Woodland and Louie right now is about 3 strokes putting, and that's the difference between first and 7th. So I think Woodland could be in for some positive progression, and Louie could be in for some negative regression heading into tomorrow. But I'd understand the Louie play on a weekend perspective, giving him 2 rounds. You might be able to score pretty well at 7,700, going for a win. Other than that, we have Phil. Last time we had Phil leading into the weekend, he pretty much exploded. But it looks a little different. This is like an Open Championship style course that kind of suits Phil Mickelson's eye. He looks really comfortable out there. He's playing really well. 4.7 on the approach, 8.9 tee to green, 300 today. I like Phil. 7-3, you're not asking for him to do much other than get you those same birdies. He might bogey a little bit, and he might fall off the lead, but in weekend formats, that's going to be okay, because we're just looking for a guy to score, guy that is in contention, going for a win like Phil. He's going to try to go for it. That's his approach to everything. He's already proven enough in this sport, so I can see him being a great weekend play because of it. Streelman, another guy like Martin Laird, has a really good ball striking numbers. That's another play. Matt Walls played really well today. I could see that being a popular bet. Into the 6K range we go. Not much to be excited about. Bezuidenhout is all putting. That could always turn around on you, so I'm not really in love with that play, but I would understand it in GPPs. Harry Higgs has some good ball striking numbers, really good coastal wind player. I just worry about his consistency from round to round. With that lack of 10K price range, I kind of like the balance approach. I'm not seeing anything here in the 6K range that really suits us when it comes to a stars and scrubs mentality. I think the only play down here that I'm really considering would probably be this Daniel Van Tonder, a South African golfer, very long off the tee. He's got 3.3 on the approach, 5.9 tee to green. He's playing really well around the greens. He's 5.3 total. He's 6,200. I think there's your 6K play. And everything else, I would just stick to that Phil, Gary Woodland, and Louie Oosthuizen plays, and just roll out Van Tonder with your stars up top. So that's our build for weekend and showdown plays for tomorrow's PGA Championship. I am your host, TK Nation 47. Like this video, comment below, and follow all of our stuff here at Fantasy Sports Insight. A lot of good content coming out weekly, daily, MLB, NBA coming to a close. So check that stuff out, guys, and like the video. And I will see you guys tomorrow night for round 4. Take it easy.